In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to use the call to action WordPress plugin called Sticky Wiggly. Basically, what Sticky Wiggly does is animate certain objects on your WordPress theme. Okay, so we're in the admin area of your WordPress theme, and you see the Sticky Wiggly icon right here. This is what we want to click on. This is going to take us to the global settings for Sticky Wiggly. In global settings, what I mean by that is basically, if we switch back over here, widget boxes, navigation bars, anything that's not you're putting into a page or a post is basically going to be a global setting. So first thing we're going to have to do is you're going to have to enable this, the Sticky Wiggly elements for the whole site-wide. So you make sure that's enabled. Then we're going to have group 1 effect, what effect we want to use. This is the ultimate version, as you can see here. So depending on what version you have, the only difference you're going to see is the animation. So the ultimate version has over 50 plus effects, and the basic version only has 7 effects. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use Hinge, and we need to do this for an CSS ID or a class. So what we need to do is I want to use this call us now button here. I want to put the hinge effect on that. So the way I do that is I'm using Firebug Lite, and it's a free download that you can install in Chrome or Firefox. So basically what you're going to do is you right click and you're going to say inspect right here, and we're going to inspect this element and find out what the class name is for it, so we can apply the effect hinge to it. So as you can see at the bottom here, it's lit up blue telling me the class is calling. So that is the class of this element box here that I'm wanting to animate. Okay, so we're going to come back over here and we're going to put in calling. As you can see, I have what I've already put in ahead of time. So we're just going to put calling in, and then we're going to save settings, and we're going to do a hinge. And that's all we need to really do. We can set the trigger down here if we want to have it fire and repeat after a certain amount of time, or if we want it to fire when a user tries to move the mouse to the up part leaving your site, or trying to exit your site. Group delay here, this will be for all these globals that you have here. Basically, this is saying that between each animation, between group 1, 2, 3, each animation, how long before the next animation takes effect. So from group 1 to group 2, it's going to take 4 seconds before group 2 effect starts, for whatever class or CSS you set that for. And then this one right here is the time between animations of each group of elements. Okay, so we just have basically set 1000 milliseconds equals 1 second. So this is going to be 4 seconds, and this will be 5 seconds. So we're going to save our settings, and then we're going to go back over to the site. I'm going to go ahead and close out the Firebug Lite for a second there, and then we're going to reload the page, and then we're going to wait a couple seconds, and then our effect should take place. And there it is. As you can see, it's hinging, which is basically what that animation does. Okay, so that's how you do that. So let's say that I wanted to animate this hinge and this logo together. First of all, we need to find out what this logo is, what the class is for that, or if it's CSS. So we're just going to use our Firebug, and we're going to come up here, and basically what you want to do is kind of move around to the box isn't always going to be right around whatever your picture image is, so you have to kind of just see, like we have a big one there that's called main header, as you can see below where it's highlighted in blue and says class equals main header. This one is basically just an image that it's picking up, no class, so we know we don't want that. And this one is same thing, so it looks like our class is going to be main header. So we're going to swing back over here, and we're going to come in, and I'm just going to check real quick where I put my main header at one. Right here. We're going to put in dot main header. When you're doing a class, you have to put a dot in. If you just scroll over the little question mark here and click your button, it'll tell you exactly what you have to put in. So basically, comma separate element ID or class dot class in group. So example, if it was a CSS, you'd do the number sign and then whatever that element is for CSS. If it's a class, it's got to be the dot. If you don't have that dot in front of whatever your class is, it doesn't know it's a class, or vice versa for CSS. Okay, so we have main header, and we're going to make the main header do a ta-da effect, and we're going to keep it the same, so our hinge and header should be activated. So we're going to come back over here and close out Firebug so we don't have all these blue lines. Reload the page, and we'll wait once again. And as you can see, they both animate. Now, as you can see, like how it comes out and then the call nest drops off. That's pretty cool. Okay, now another thing that you can do here also is, okay, what if I wanted the main header? You can put more than one class on one line, just like you would keywords. You put the keyword, comma, keyword. Well, it's the same thing. So you put your class, which is like dot calling, and then we have dot main header. So we're going to put a comma and then dot main header. Okay, you got to have that dot there and you got to have the comma there so it knows it's two different classes. But these both classes are going to use the same effect right here for hinge. And you can put as many as you want on here, but remember, all of the classes or CSS that you're putting on here for element IDs, it's going to have this effect. If we reload that, we should see the header and that call us now both doing it a hinge effect. And there you go. You see they both drop off because they're on the same. So they're both connected together. Let's go ahead and take the main header off of that for right now. And what I want to do is put the main header down here. And I want to do a, let's see, so many effects. What do we want to do? Let's do a, I want to do a fade. Let's try fade in, fade up. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, we reload it. Okay, so we were just doing the animation here, and I had to stop the video for 1 second just to prove you guys a point. Okay, so when you do your animation and you're not seeing anything going on, then that means something has broken the code. The Sticky Wiggly is confused on what animations needs to be doing what. And so if we come back over here to my page, I can show you the mistake that I made on purpose. So you can see it says dot calling, right? And I took out the main header, but I left the comma in there. So basically it's going to the group one first because they go in order, and it's going to the calling, but then there's a comma here, and there's nothing after that. So that breaks the animation, that breaks the code. So make sure you don't have those commas in behind there. Only if you have another class behind it. Don't leave that comma in there because it won't work. So now let's save the settings and go back and refresh. And there we go. Check that out. Pretty cool, huh? Okay. So basically, you can just experiment around with that. I mean, you've got over 50 effects. The animations and the possibilities that can be done with this is pretty cool. Okay, so this is the global. Everything about the global settings we need to. And also there is a tutorial down here, which you would be watching right now if you're watching this video. And this is where you're going to find the tutorial to see exactly what's going on. Okay, so now we're going to look at the pages here. All right, so doing pages and posts is a little bit different. Pages and posts, we're going to select what we want our object to animate, whether it be text, whether it be a graphic. We can pretty much animate anything except for a script. If it's a script that's running, we cannot animate scripts. Okay, it has basically the same settings down here as we did in the global settings. First, you have to make sure that you enable Sticky Wiggly in this poster page, or else the animations will not fire. We have 3 triggers: delay, which fires and repeats after a certain amount of time. In content, trigger fires once you scroll the trigger element into view, which basically means once you scroll your scroll bar down and the element comes into view, then it will trigger, depending on what you have the threshold set for: top view, middle view, or bottom view. Exit trigger, basically exactly what it says. When you try to exit the page and move your cursor up off of their website, it will trigger the event. Okay. And then we have our initial delay and then a repeat interval. Initial delay is basically how many seconds, before the animation starts once it's fired. and then the repeat interval is how many seconds after it fires that it will repeat and do the same thing again. Okay, so what we're going to do first is animate this image right here. We're going to go and click the target, and when we do that, you see that it has a red dotted line around the image. That lets us know that it has been targeted with Sticky Wiggly. The next thing we're going to do is click the drop down box, and we're going to choose an effect. I'm going to go with the effect light speed out. Okay, and once we've done that, we're going to update our page. Okay, let's try that again. So we're going to update the page, and then we're going to come over here, reload the page, and then with that time that we set down there, you will see the image here, basically light speed out. There it goes. Okay. All right. So let's go back and let's animate these widget boxes over here. Well, we'll do that in a second. Let's go back here to the page. All right. So that's how you do the image. Now let's say that we wanted some text. Let's say I wanted this text right here. I'm going to target that text. Basically, just highlight it. It could be a link too. You can make it a link and then just highlight the link. Okay, and you know what? Actually, let's just go ahead and make it a link so I can show you what I mean. So here's Google. We'll just use that as a link. Okay, now this is a link. So now we'll highlight it and we'll make sure that's targeted, and then we'll give it. Let's make it bounce up. Just make it bounce. Okay, sounds good. All right, and then update. Reload the page. Grab some popcorn and wait for it to start. So what we're going to animate is just going to be this right here that's going to start bouncing. And there it goes. Okay, so when you're doing this, I recommend only probably doing one effect on your post because you want it to be subtle. So like a link bouncing, you know, click here link, or whatever it is you want to get someone's attention. Definitely don't want to put a bunch of effects. The only reason I have all these effects on here is just because this is a demo, just to show you the possibilities. Okay, so you see that works. Okay, so let me see. So that's pretty much it for that. One more thing that I'll show you. Okay, I mean, this is really an easy plugin to use. So let's say that this effect, all right, is animating in this page here, right? Let's say that I wanted to use this in a widget box. So what you would do is come over here to text, and we're going to look for the span class right here, and then the closing span. That's the code we want to copy right there. It has the trigger ID, and then what the animation is going to be, and then what's in between the span tags is what's going to animate. So we can copy this from the open span to the closed span. Okay, and then we come over here and we can jump over to our widgets and pick a text widget, and then we can post that code in the text widget and just call this demo. And of course the image is pretty big, so it's gonna probably look pretty crazy. You would put your normal size image that would fit your widget box. Well, we're just doing this as a demo. Okay, so now let's come over here, reload this page, and there's the image, and now it should just fly right off. There it goes. Okay, so that is a way that you can get your items from your pages. So like, say for instance, like this image, or if you had an opt-in box, okay, you could paste your opt-in box code, just making a blank page and pasting your opt-in box code in here, and then well, you'd paste it over here is where you paste your opt-in box code, and then go to visual, and then you'll see your opt-in box, and then you basically want to highlight that. It could be a little tricky doing that. The way I do it, that I did to animate this box here, is basically I right-clicked, viewed Firebug Light, inspect, And then I just went over here to look to see exactly what it was called. And as we can see down below, that's highlighted, it says form method equals post, but we don't want the method, we want the class. And the class is af-form-wrapper. So that's what we need. And like I said, when you're trying to find, if you're using Firebug Lite for this, sometimes you gotta just move around the image and see. Like this right here is called the class for this would be a widget box. Like what's highlighted, it's showing style, normal, but no class. So if it doesn't show the class, you look up one above it and you'll see it says widget box -isi form. So that would be the class for that. But the one we're wanting is the one that's holding our opt-in code, which is this one, the AF form, because it is a form. So what we'll do is that's a global setting, so we'll have to come over here and set that up as a global setting. So what we'll do is we'll set that as we'll do hinge. So then what we'll do is we have to come in here, and I already have it down here, so I'm just going to come down here real quick and find out which one I have it in. Alright, I'm not seeing it there. Okay, that's okay. So we'll go ahead and fill it in. So basically what we need to do is jump back over here real quick and click on that, and come down here, highlight this right here, Control C, okay, and then come back over here, put a comma, and paste it in there, because that is the name of our class. Oops, I forgot to put the dot. We have to put that dot there, don't forget. Alright, so now it's comma dot, and that is the hinge animation. So we'll save that, and we'll close out Firebug Lite, reload this, and our box should hinge. Like it's going to fall off the page. There it goes. Of course, that wouldn't be that great of one for that. So what I like to do for the rest, let's take that out. Remember to take out that comma. And I want to come down here and make its own group for it. And what I like to do on this one, let's do a let's try wobble, and let's give it 3, 2, save settings. Let's see how that goes. There we go. See, it just kind of shakes just to get your attention. Pretty neat. Okay, so as you can see, my page is going crazy with so many animations. I definitely highly advise don't do that. You want to make it, where your customers never come back to your website. So just put in little animations here and there just to get someone's attention. So there you have it. If you have any questions or anything, send it to our support. But pretty much it's pretty simple to use. So I hope you enjoy this. It definitely will make your call to action on your websites noticeable, and you will start getting more sales and more opt-ins. Thanks again for purchasing Sticky Wiggly.